In a world of what-ifs, history isn't just a record of what happened, but a canvas of what could have been. Welcome to Retrospective Rewinds, where history takes a detour and the past is just the beginning of endless possibilities. Imagine a world where the thunderous footsteps of Vikings never faded from the shores of North America. Where Norse longships weren't just fleeting visitors, but harbingers of a history rewritten. In this series, we journey into a realm where the Vikings settled permanently in the New World, shaping a continent and carving a legacy that echoes into our modern world. Join us on Retrospective Rewinds as we unfurl the sails of history and navigate the tumultuous waters of what if the Vikings never left? Chapter 1. Voyage to the New World. In an age when the world was vast and uncharted, a bold group of Norse explorers, led by the intrepid Leif Erikson, embarked on a journey that would etch their names into the annals of history. Their destination, a land shrouded in mystery beyond the tempestuous Atlantic, a land that would come to be known as North America. As the long ships cleaved through the icy waters, the Norsemen braved fierce ocean squalls and unforgiving currents. The sea, a relentless adversary, tested their mettle. Yet, amidst these trials, the resilience and seafaring prowess of the Vikings shone like beacons in the fog. These were not mere voyagers, they were adventurers in the truest sense, seeking not just new lands but new destinies. Upon sighting the rugged coastlines of this new world, a surge of exhilaration swept through the crew. The shores, teeming with dense forests and abundant wildlife, were unlike anything they had seen. In this untamed wilderness, the Vikings saw not just a challenge, but an opportunity, a chance to expand their world and forge a legacy that would transcend generations. This chapter of our story explores not only the physical journey of these Norse explorers, but also the journey of the spirit. It delves into the heart of what it means to venture into the unknown, to confront the vast, unyielding mystery of the world, and to find in its depths a reflection of one's own indomitable will. Chapter 2. The First Settlement. As the longships anchored along the verdant shores, the Norse settlers gazed upon a land ripe with possibility. Here, in this sprawling expanse of wilderness, they would lay the foundations of a new chapter in Viking history, a permanent settlement in the heart of North America. The early days were a symphony of labor and determination. Axes rang against trees as sturdy homes rose from the ground, shaped by the skilled hands of Norse craftsmen. The air was filled with the scent of fresh timber and the salty tang of the sea, a reminder of the distant lands they had left behind. But this was more than a tale of construction and survival. It was a saga of adaptation and innovation. The Vikings, renowned for their adaptability, quickly learned to harness the resources of this new land. They cultivated crops unfamiliar to the Norse palate and hunted game that roamed the vast forests. In these acts of daily life, a new Norse identity was forged, one that was inextricably linked to the rich, uncharted landscapes of North America. This chapter delves into the complexities of establishing a new settlement far from familiar shores. It explores the challenges faced by these pioneers as they navigated the delicate balance between preserving their heritage and embracing the novelties of an unfamiliar world. Through their eyes, we witness the birth of a community that stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of the Norse people, a community that, unbeknownst to them, would alter the course of history forever. Chapter 3. Encounters with Native Populations. The Norse settlers, having established their foothold in this new world, soon found themselves not alone. The land was home to diverse Native American tribes, each with their rich traditions and complex societies. The initial encounters were a tapestry of curiosity, caution, and the potential for both conflict and camaraderie. As the Norse explored further, they encountered tribes with varying reactions, from wary distance to cautious engagement. These early interactions were pivotal, setting the tone for future relations. Some meetings were marked by trade, where Norse iron was exchanged for native furs and crafts. Others were tense, shadowed by the unknown intentions of each side. This chapter delves into the dynamics of these early encounters. It explores the challenges of communication, the delicate dance of diplomacy, and the gradual building of trust. Through these interactions, the Vikings and the Native Americans began to share knowledge, from hunting techniques to navigational skills. This was a time of learning and adaptation, where two worlds previously isolated began to intertwine. The narrative also examines the potential for cultural exchange. Imagine Norse sagas being told around native campfires, or Viking runes carved alongside indigenous symbols. It's a story of how two distinct cultures could have influenced each other, creating a rich tapestry of shared human experience. Chapter 4: A Flourishing Colony. The Norse settlement, now firmly rooted in North American soil, began to thrive. The colony expanded as new longships arrived, bringing more settlers eager to partake in this new venture. Farms dotted the landscape, and Norse longhouses stood proudly amidst the vast wilderness. This chapter explores the growth of the colony. It looks at the daily life of the settlers, the challenges they faced, and the solutions they devised. We see the emergence of a society that is both distinctly Norse and uniquely adapted to its new environment. The settlers developed new methods of agriculture, blending Norse techniques with crops and methods learned from the Native Americans. But this wasn't just a story of survival and growth, it was also one of governance and society. How did the Norse maintain law and order? How did they integrate their beliefs with the spiritual practices of the native people? This chapter delves into the political and social structures that emerged, painting a picture of a society that is both familiar and novel. The narrative also touches on the evolving relationship with the Native American tribes. Alliances were formed, marriages took place, and a new generation of Norse Native Americans began to emerge, bridging two worlds in their heritage. Chapter 5: Norse Influence on Native Culture. As the years passed, the presence of the Norse in North America wasn't just a physical one, it was cultural. This chapter delves into the profound impact the Vikings had on the indigenous populations they interacted with. The Norse brought with them their art, mythology, and technology. The narrative explores how Norse mythology might have blended with indigenous beliefs, creating a unique pantheon of gods and legends. Norse art styles, with their intricate knotwork and animal motifs, began to influence native crafts, leading to an extraordinary fusion of artistic expression. The chapter also explores the impact of Norse technology on native societies. The introduction of metal tools and weapons, new building techniques, and advanced shipbuilding had significant implications for the native tribes. These technological exchanges were not one-sided. The Norse too adopted native practices, from canoe building to fishing techniques. But this cultural exchange was more than just material. It was also about ideas. The Norse concept of law and governance, their approach to exploration and trade, all of these began to seep into the societies they interacted with. The chapter paints a picture of a world where cultures didn't just meet, they merged, creating a new narrative in the tapestry of human history. Chapter 6: The Viking Network. As seasons turned, the Norse presence in North America didn't just endure, it flourished. The initial settlement had grown into a network of thriving communities, each a beacon of Norse culture and innovation. This chapter delves into the expansion of Viking settlements, exploring how they branched out across the continent, navigating rivers, forests, and plains. The Norse were not just settlers, they were explorers at heart. Longships ventured down the coastlines, into the heart of the continent, mapping uncharted territories. In these journeys, they encountered a myriad of native tribes, each encounter weaving a new thread into the fabric of this evolving society. This was a period of significant growth and exchange. Trading posts sprang up along key routes, becoming bustling centers of commerce and culture. Here, one could find Norse merchants bartering for exotic goods from the interior, while native craftsmen marveled at foreign artifacts brought from distant Norse lands. But this expansion wasn't without challenges. The chapter also explores the complexities of managing a sprawling network of settlements. It looks at how the Norse navigated issues of governance, resource allocation, and intercommunity relations. Through these challenges, a new form of Norse society emerged, one that was adaptive, resilient, and deeply interconnected with the continent's diverse cultures. This narrative paints a picture of a dynamic, expansive Viking network, a society that grew beyond mere survival to become a vibrant part of the tapestry of North American history. Chapter 7: Alternate European Contact. The arrival of other European explorers to the shores of North America was inevitable. However, in this alternate timeline, they were met not by scattered tribes, but by a well-established Norse civilization. This chapter explores the ramifications of this altered first contact. Imagine the surprise and confusion of explorers like Columbus and Cabot as they encountered a hybrid culture, a blend of Norse and indigenous elements. How would these European powers react to a North America already claimed and settled by their northern neighbors? The chapter delves into the diplomatic and military tensions that might arise from this scenario. With the Norse firmly entrenched, the typical narrative of European colonization takes a drastic turn. Alliances and conflicts would reshape the strategies of European powers, leading to a complex geopolitical landscape. We also explore the potential cultural and technological exchanges that would occur. The Norse, with their established trade networks and knowledge of the land, could have played a pivotal role in the European exploration of the continent. The chapter speculates on how this interaction might have accelerated technological and navigational advancements. Furthermore, this chapter examines the impact on the indigenous populations. With the Norse as intermediaries, could the devastating effects of European diseases and conquest have been mitigated? Would the native tribes have found a stronger position in this new world order? This alternate history presents a fascinating what-if scenario, where the usual narrative of conquest and colonization is turned on its head, leading to a vastly different North American continent. Chapter 8: Technological Synergy. In this chapter, we explore the fusion of Norse and Native American technologies, a synergy that transformed not just the physical tools, but also the methodologies and knowledge systems of both cultures. This period of innovation was marked by a spirit of collaboration and curiosity that transcended cultural boundaries. The Norse, renowned for their metallurgy, introduced advanced metalworking techniques. In turn, they were introduced to the native expertise in agriculture, environmental management, and herbal medicine. This exchange led to a blossoming of technological advancements. For instance, the blending of Norse iron tools with Native American agricultural practices resulted in more efficient farming methods, leading to surplus production and enhanced food security. But the impact of this technological synergy went beyond practical applications. It fostered a culture of innovation where ideas were shared freely and new inventions were a common goal. This chapter imagines how the Norse knack for shipbuilding might have evolved with indigenous watercraft designs, leading to the creation of vessels uniquely suited to the diverse waterways of North America. This era also saw the birth of unique architectural styles, combining Norse structural techniques with native designs, suitable for the varied climates of the continent. The narrative delves into how these innovations reshaped the daily lives of the inhabitants, from housing and transportation to communication and exploration. In essence, this chapter paints a picture of a society where the fusion of different technological paradigms led to a leap in progress, charting a course of development that was distinct from the rest of the world. Chapter 9: A Diverse Society. As decades turned into centuries, the society that emerged from Norse and Native American interactions was one of extraordinary diversity and richness. This chapter delves into the social fabric of this alternate North America, exploring the myriad ways in which these two cultures intertwined to create something entirely new. Central to this narrative is the concept of identity. In this alternate timeline, a new hybrid identity emerged, rooted in both Norse and indigenous traditions. This was reflected in language, where Old Norse words melded with native dialects, in fashion, where clothing styles intermingled, and in cuisine, where diets were a fusion of Norse and native ingredients. The chapter also examines the religious and spiritual landscape. Norse paganism, with its pantheon of gods and rituals, encountered the diverse spiritual practices of Native American tribes. This led to an amalgamation of beliefs and practices, creating a spiritual tapestry that was as complex as it was unique. Art and culture flourished in this society, with storytelling and music drawing from both Norse sagas and native folklore. This cultural blend extended to governance and social structures, where Norse legal systems adapted to include indigenous concepts of community and justice. This chapter not only explores the richness of this diverse society, but also addresses the challenges it faced. It delves into how this society navigated issues of identity, cohesion, and progression, balancing the preservation of distinct cultural heritages with the creation of a unified community. Chapter 10: Global Implications. In this chapter, we explore the broader impact of a Norse-dominated North America on the global stage. The presence of a strong, technologically advanced Norse civilization in the New World had far-reaching effects, altering the course of world history. The Norse, with their extensive trade networks and maritime prowess, became a dominant force in transatlantic trade. This alternate North America became a hub, connecting the Old World with the New, influencing global trade routes and economies. Norse settlements acted as gateways for European goods, while simultaneously exporting unique North American resources and inventions. Diplomatically, the Norse civilization in North America played a pivotal role in international affairs. They became mediators in conflicts between European powers and served as a buffer against colonial ambitions. The chapter speculates on how this might have prevented or altered various colonial wars and reshaped the politics of European nations. Militarily, the Norse influence extended to the development of naval warfare. Their advanced shipbuilding techniques and strategies influenced naval tactics across the globe. The chapter also delves into potential conflicts and alliances that might have arisen, painting a picture of a world where the balance of power was markedly different from what we know today. This chapter presents a world where the Viking presence in North America didn't just change the continent, it changed the entire geopolitical landscape, creating a ripple effect that touched every corner of the globe. Chapter 11: The Modern Age. Fast forward to the present day in this alternate timeline, where centuries of Norse influence have shaped a distinctly different modern world. This chapter paints a picture of contemporary society, exploring how the legacy of the Norse settlers continued to influence culture, technology, and politics. Politically, North America is a mosaic of states, each with its own unique blend of Norse and indigenous heritage. The political landscape is marked by a focus on communal governance and a blend of Norse legal traditions with native concepts of justice and community. Technologically, this world has seen advancements that diverge significantly from our own timeline. Norse engineering and native environmental knowledge have led to unique developments in sustainable technology and architecture, emphasizing harmony with nature. Culturally, the modern society in this alternate North America is a testament to the enduring power of cultural fusion. Norse languages infused with indigenous dialects are spoken widely. Art, music, and literature are rich with themes and styles that trace back to both Norse sagas and Native American folklore. This chapter invites the audience to imagine living in this alternate present, a world where history took a different path, leading to a society that is both familiar and wonderfully alien. Chapter 12: Reflections on History. In the final chapter, we step back to reflect on the journey through this alternate history. It's a contemplation of how small changes in the past could lead to vastly different outcomes in the present. This chapter encourages viewers to ponder the nature of history itself, not as a fixed narrative, but as a tapestry of infinite possibilities. The chapter discusses the importance of understanding and appreciating the complexities of history. It highlights how exploring alternate histories can provide valuable insights into our own world, challenging us to think critically about the events that have shaped our society. Finally, the narrative emphasizes the interconnectedness of human cultures and histories. It's a reminder that our world is the result of countless interactions and exchanges between different peoples and ideas. This alternate history of the Norse in North America serves as a metaphor for the rich, complex, and often surprising nature of our shared human story. In conclusion, this chapter is an invitation to view history not just as a series of events that happened, but as a reminder of the countless events that could have happened, shaping a world of endless possibilities and diverse narratives.